Welcome and good morning to Mike Ferry TV. Mike Ferry here talking to you again today. I want to spend some time today looking at some of the phases that I believe all of us have to go through to increase production. Now, I think you figured out that each week when I chat with you, whether it be here on Mike Ferry TV or any other portion of the many services we can touch you with, it's always about production and income. The challenge that we face as a company, and I'm sure your broker faces at times, and maybe even you face at times, is understanding that you have the skill and ability to increase your production and income if you choose to. The hard part, of course, is trying to convince you that you can do it or B, that you should do it. So I want to look today, and we'll spend a few minutes on each of these, as some of the steps that we have to go through if here we are now on April 6th, the week of April 6th, saying January, February, March, first quarter's done. How do I make sure that everything I do from April 1st on gets better for production and income? So I've written down 5 words. I wrote down the word mindset, the word skill, the word script, the word activity, and then the word action. So let's take a look at that in relationship to you building a bigger, better business April through December, which you can do. There's no doubt about it if you choose to. So mindset, we know that, and this is such an interesting area for me to talk about, it's that one area that is the breaking point between living the kind of life you want and not having what you want. The difference between the reality of getting what you want from your business and fantasizing about it all the time. Mindset. Because mindset is nothing more than what is going on inside your head at a given moment regarding something, somebody, a place you are, something you've read, etc. Okay? And your mindset, as you know, is always either going to be the positive or negative. There's no in between. There's no gray area. You know, I can say a word to you and you're going to have a mindset, a thought regarding that word. For example, if I say overpriced listing, most mindsets are, it's a negative. Oh my gosh, why? Or cutting commissions. It's a negative. Why would I cut commissions? So what we have to understand in regards to mindset is that even though we can control, you can control what goes on in your head throughout the course of the day, all the influences around you, all the input you have is what causes you to respond to a for sale by owner, a past client who might have had a bad terrible situation with you on the transaction, or making a cold call, following up on a lead. All of these have to do with mindset. How do you see that name? How do you see that situation? How do you see that circumstance in a positive or negative light? Mindset. And then the second was the word skills. The hardest thing to get real estate people to understand, not the top producers, we as a group, is to understand that we're in a skill-based business. Everything revolves around skills, okay? A professional golfer has a certain skill set. A brain surgeon obviously has a very finite skill set. A professional pilot has a skill set. A school teacher has a skill set. The nurse has a skill set. We all have to have a certain skill set to perform. What we have to understand is a skill set is required in real estate in terms of sales skills, people skills, communication skills. You have to learn certain things to be a highly successful real estate salesperson. If you don't learn them, what kind of a chance do you have? And the answer is very minimal. Watch, the turnover in real estate is not caused by the fact that we're so good at what we do. The turnover in real estate is not caused by the fact we have excessive income. It's not caused by the fact we're taking so many great listings that are selling. It's caused by a lack of skills. We don't have the skill, therefore we don't have the confidence to go out and do the job every day the way we should. So it's our ability to develop and learn the skills. The third word was the word scripts. I've been criticized for 40 years. This is our 40th year of working and doing seminars in real estate. 40 years. I say it, and I can't even believe it. I can't even hardly say it, much less believe it. 40 years. And all I've been teaching 40 years is you got to learn what to say. Because if you know what to say, you'll go do something. If you don't know what to say, you won't do anything. So the quicker we learn what to say, the faster we can do something. Makes sense, doesn't it? You understand that. I mean, if you're calling a prospect on the phone and they say something and you don't know what to say in return, they're going to list with somebody else. If you're negotiating a contract, you don't know what to say to the seller, they're going to not take the offer that you're presenting. You're on a listing presentation and you don't have a compelling conversation through the questions you ask, they're going to list with somebody else. These are scripts, okay? You've got to understand that every business, every profession, every job has a script. A pro football team works from scripts. If you're constructing a house, it's called a blueprint, it's their script. Okay? Flying an airplane, it's a checklist, it's their script. The doctors performing surgery, they have a script they follow. It's the steps we take to succeed. In our business, we can get away without having scripts and sometimes still succeed. But those that succeed at the highest level, they have scripts. The fourth word, activities. Are the activities you're involved in each day bringing you listing, sales, and income? I had a conversation with a client, and I listened very carefully to what this lady said as to what her average day was like. And she was putting in 10, 11, 12 hours, but there were maybe 30 minutes of the day in terms of activities that actually brought about production. The other 10 and a half hours were activities, busy, doing things with no production. Watch, there are certain activities. Prospecting, oh, I hate that one. Lead follow-up, pre-qualifying, showing property to buyers, going on listing presentations, negotiating contracts, handling the administration of the transaction. Certain activities that if we're not involved in them, we can't produce. Are you involved in enough activities to create production? And then the last word I had written down was the word action. Are you taking action every day? And I have to say to you, the more I do the work I do, the more I understand that if you had a job before real estate, and let's say we're making $45,000 a year, and now you're in real estate, and your average commission check is $10,000. Well, you get a commission check on April 15th for $10,000, which represented 25% of your income for the year. It's hard to get into action because we're getting more money at one time than we received in the past for a long period of time. So the action is the hardest part. When I talk to agents and I say, you have to manage your time, you have to prospect, you have to do lead follow-up, pre-qualify, show property, listing presentations, handle objections, close the sale, negotiate contracts, and then is the hard step, start over. Because you got to start over every day. And that's why you've heard me say time and time again, you have to start every day at zero. You have to pretend like you have no leads, no listings, no sales, no income to get yourself motivated to take action. Do you have the mindset? Do you have the skills? Have you learned the scripts? Are you involved in the activities and taking action to proceed and produce the way you want? If not, come to our Superstar Retreat in July, 14 to 17, Palazzo Venetian Hotel, Las Vegas. Call my office. Get registered. Go online, get registered. You're going to learn how to do it, and I may be able to motivate you to actually take action. Talk to you next week.